So, hello class. Actually, from yesterday we started the 16th group of the family that we block, and in the same sequence, today's lecture actually based on the some anomalous properties. First, learn one thing. As the anomalous property of nitrogen was discussed, the same anomalous properties is actually carried by oxygen also. In whole periodic table, all the elements from the second period, they are having anomalous properties. Anomalous means the properties of the elements which are not generally showing by the other member of the same group. They are having some different properties, and this is actually because of a small size, high electronegativity, because of unavailability of d orbitals, because of these three basic reasons, second period of the elements in the whole periodic table, they are having anomalous properties. Means they are having some different properties which are not shown by the other members of the group. So the same anomalous property that was discussed in the nitrogen family, the anomalous property of nitrogen, same properties also having with that oxygen. And regions are also same. You can see now, the small size, high electronegativity, absence of d orbital, that was the same region in the case of anomalous properties of the nitrogen. So the factors and properties which are actually having with oxygen, that will also be same as in nitrogen, and that is the restriction in covalency. The restriction in covalency, the maximum covalency what they can exist, what they can show, that is actually 4. The maximum covalency, actually oxygen can expand through the 4. But there should be admitted one thing, rarely in oxygen exceeds covalency 2. Rarely. In all the different compounds, almost compounds in which oxygen is making a bond, they are having only a covalency 2. So because of the very high charge density and presence of that lone pair, oxygen having very greater tendency to share its 2 electrons only, rather than the all 4 orbitals involved in the hybridization. In whole of the periodic table, oxygen and chlorine having most tendency to hybridize any of the elements which are going to react with oxygen or chlorine. Both having most tendency of hybridization. This is because of the very high charge density. The negative charge density is very high in oxygen and chlorine. The negative charge density is very high, which can be easily available the energy for the hybridization of the different orbitals involved in the bonding. This is also an anomalous property of oxygen as well as in chlorine. Because of small size, electronegativity is very high. Because of absence of d orbitals, never can exceed covalency than more than 4. Always make a bond p pi bond, because whenever oxygen make a pi bond, must be involved the p orbitals only, because of the absence of d orbitals. Oxidation number never can exceed more than actually plus 2. Plus 2. So students, these are called anomalous properties because other member of the same group like sulfur, selenium, tellurium, they are having an oxidation number more than 4 plus 6. They are having tendency to make a more catenation power. They can make a bond with the different atoms with a use of p orbitals called p pi d pi bond. One more thing, what is anomalous? That is the tendency to make a hydrogen bonding. Water molecules having a greater tendency to make a hydrogen bonding because of the same reason, high electronegativity. And this is the reason why water molecule exists in the liquid state and H2S exists in the gaseous state. The next member of the group, sulfur with hydrogen H2S, is gaseous. Water is a liquid because of the tendency of making a hydrogen bond. One water molecule can make a 4 hydrogen bond. One water molecule can make up 4 hydrogen bonds. The 2 hydrogen bonds with the help of 2 hydrogens and 2 hydrogen bonds with the help of 2 lone pairs. So hydrogen bond, that is the case why there are tetrahedral geometry in the case of ice structure that will polymerize to make a hexagonal structure. In the case of ice structure, because of that closeness of the bonding, hydrogen bonding together of the different molecules. So these are the some anomalous behavior of the oxygen. Same anomalous behavior was in the case of nitrogen also. Always anomalous behavior depend upon the same region. What is given here? So whenever you are going to learn the anomalous behavior of the oxygen or nitrogen or chlorine, you have to be ready for that. They're having some of the property which are not showing by the other member of the group, like oxidation number, like a covalency, like a bonding nature, hybridization nature, bond nature like p pi, d pi, p pi. And next topic is about reactivity towards hydrogen. That is the first chemical property traits in this family. Reactivity towards hydrogen. So let's see what different types of hydrides they form. What different types of hydrides they form. Look one thing, all of the compounds with hydrogen always known as hydrides, no matter hydrogen is negative in the molecule or hydrogen is the positive in the molecule. For example, asphalt metals react with hydrogen to form a hydrides easily because of the hydrogen is more electronegative than metals. But here in the case of oxygen family, oxygen and sulfur is more electronegative than hydrogen. So that should be called oxides and sulfides because we are actually adding the name according to the electronegativity. But in the case of hydrogen, this is the rarer. We always termed as hydrides. So all molecules of hydrogen are always known as hydrides, no matter it is a positive or negative. So let's see the different molecules of oxygen family. Water molecule, hydrogen sulfide, hydrogen selenium hydrides and tellurium hydrides. That is the common name. But they are all called hydrides of the oxygen family. What you have to be learned, always when we are going to learn the hydrides family, some 3 and 4 terms which are basic you should have learned, and that is the bond dissociation enthalpy, that is called bond nature, the reducing properties, if there is a possibility then acidic properties, stability in the sense of thermal stability, and in the last bond angle. When we have a discussion about hydrides of nitrogen family, bond dissociation enthalpy and bond angle, what was the concept that was in the nitrogen family? The same concept will be in this family also. Bond dissociation enthalpy, and that is moving down the group due to the increase of the size of the element, the bond dissociation enthalpy will be decreases. Moving down the group, the bond dissociation enthalpy, also termed as bond enthalpy, decreases down the group because of the increase of the size of the central element like oxygen to tellurium. And other property will be based on that bond enthalpy. For example, reducing nature. Actually, reducing nature is depend upon the availability of hydrogen atoms released by the molecules. If the molecules easily release hydrogen atom, there will be a more reducing power than the other members. As you can see, the bond enthalpy decreases, so hydrogen H2T, in the case of last hydride, there will be more availability of hydrogen atoms because bond will be easily break down. Low bond enthalpy will make H2T as a stronger reducing agent. So when we moving down the group, reducing property increases because of the first reason. Acidic nature actually depend upon the availability of H plus ion in the solution. Acidic nature depends upon the availability of H plus ion. You can see oxygen, sulfur and selenium, these three elements at least are more electronegative than hydrogen. So whenever hydrogen released from the molecule must be released as a proton called H plus. Must be released as the proton called H plus. So reducing nature also increases from water to the down the group because of the bond enthalpy decreases. Bond enthalpy decreases. The bond will be easily break and that will release the H plus ion in the solution more quickly than above molecule. So H2S is more acidic than water. H2SC is more acidic than H2S. So acidic nature also increases from water to H2SC especially. Moving down the group, acidic nature also increases because of the first reason. The third property which depends upon the bond enthalpy, that is called thermal stability. Class, thermal stability means at what temperature they can be stable. Up to what temperature they can be stable. And this is again depend upon the nature of bond, the strength of bond. You can see the down the group, bond enthalpy decreases, so they are less stable down the group. they are less stable down the group. So water will be a most stable hydride among all. Thermal stability decreases down the group because of the same reason. First, these three properties directly depends upon the bond enthalpy. Now, the second property. Second property is called the nature of hydrogen bond. Nature of hydrogen bond. Hydrogen bond tendency actually depends upon the high electronegativity and smaller size. Hydrogen bond tendency depend upon the electronegativity and charge density, that is depend upon the small size. If the atom is smaller, belongs to the second period with a high electronegativity, they are having a tendency or ability to make a bond with hydrogen other than covalent bond, that is called additional covalent bond with hydrogen, which is termed as hydrogen bond, This is because of the very smaller size and high electronegativity that polarize the bond of oxygen hydrogen, resulting additional bond formation with the same atom in the same direction. But this is not a double bond. This type of bond is called hydrogen bond. Water has a greater tendency to make a hydrogen bond than H2S, than other members. In the whole family, all the compounds, only water can make a hydrogen bond because of the same reason. Because of these two reasons. And you should be learn, because of the hydrogen bond formation, water can dissolve all those covalent compounds which are not dissociate in the water but can form hydrogen bond with water. And this is very rare. This is very rare. All those molecules like a urea, different types of carbohydrates, they dissolve in the water because of the formation of hydrogen bonding, but they are not dissociate. They are not dissociate in the water. And this is the reason why they are follow the Raoult's law. This is the reason why they are follow the Raoult's law. In the chapter of solution, we are actually discussing about the Raoult's law solution, ideal solution condition, and abnormal molar mass condition, one-time factor condition. This is the reason urea and glucose, fructose, sucrose are the example in the case of Raoult's law, and other acid, base, and salts are example in the one-time factor because they dissociate in the water. Whenever the substance dissociate in the water, they can change their number of particles and responsible for one-time factor. But the hydrogen bond, so whenever water molecule make a hydrogen bond with the other molecule, they can dissolve with the water. If the molecules are not having tendency to make a hydrogen bond with the water, they are not dissolved until unless they are dissociate. This is the reason why hydrocarbons are insoluble in the water, because hydrocarbons having very low tendency to make a hydrogen bond with water. So they are called a non-polar and they are strongly soluble in the water. Carboxylic acids, alcohols, amines, urea, carbohydrates, they all are water soluble because of the same reason, and that is this. You should be use this reason in the organic chemistry. In the organic chemistry, physical properties. Next thing, the boiling point of water is very high as compared to the H2S because of the again same reason. The association of water molecule require a greater energy to break the bond of water molecule to be evaporated, and that's why the boiling point is very high. Again, the same reason, there is intra-hydrogen bonding between the hydrogen molecules. Intra means when the same molecule, when the molecule make a hydrogen bond with itself. So because of intra-hydrogen bonding, the water having a very high boiling point than H2S. Because of the intra-hydrogen bonding, water is a liquid, but H2S is a gas. These three different concepts, the solubility, the boiling point, and state, depends upon the nature of hydrogen bond that actually carried by water molecules. You should be learn. This is called second property, nature of hydrogen. Third property, the bond angle. HEH bond angle, hydrogen, oxygen, hydrogen, or hydrogen, sulfur, hydrogen. Bond angle always depends upon only two different types of repulsion. The one repulsion arises due to the lone pair. The one repulsion arises due to the bond pair. That is only the case. That is only the case. If we consider the repulsion of the lone pair, the bond angle compressed. If we consider the repulsion of the bond pair, the bond angle expand. So expansion of the angle depends upon the repulsion of the bond pair. Compression of the angle depends upon the repulsion of the lone pair with the bond pair. But when we moving down the group, the lone pair available at the central atom, they are not changes. Their position, their availability, that will almost remain same. The difference is the length of bond. As we moving down the group, the length of bond gradually increases, rapidly increases, that affect the bond pair position. Bond pair position. So when we moving down the group, bond pair position shifted more away, far away than the previous one. That decrease the repulsion condition between the bond pair. And that is the reason why we only consider the bond pair repulsion, not lone pair bond pair. In the case of the bond angle. So what you learn, we should be learn moving down the group due to increase of bond length, bond pair repulsion decreases, that decrease the bond angle. That decrease the bond angle. Bond angle decreases. Because of the low bond pair repulsion. Students, for reactivity of hydrides, you should be learn at least these 7 different concepts. The 3 depends upon the bond dissociation. The 1 bond pair repulsion depends upon the bond angle. Sorry, bond angle depends upon the bond pair repulsion. And here, the 3 different properties called a boiling point of the molecules, the state of the molecules, and nature of solubility of the molecules. That is depend upon the nature of hydrogen bond. This is all about the hydrides, the reactivity towards hydrogen. So this is all about the today's lecture. We'll discuss about the next topic, that is called reactivity with oxygen. Reactivity with oxygen. Reactivity with oxygen. Let's start. reactivity with oxygen, like they are actually forming two different types of oxides, the dioxide and trioxide, with the oxidation number +4 and +3. You can see what you have to learn. Whenever there is a topic of oxides, you have to learn some of the points like acidic nature, covalent nature, oxidation number. That is only important topic was that reactivity towards hydrogen. But now reactivity with oxygen, you have to learn about the some of the point like covalent nature and acidic nature. Oxides, actually acidic nature depends upon the covalent nature. Whenever we dealing with oxides, always acidic nature depends upon the covalent nature. If we are able to learn, we are knowing which of the molecule having a greater tendency of covalent bonding, which are having a greater tendency of covalent nature, that should be a more acidic than the other one. That is all about when we compare the dioxide and trioxide together, or we compare the moving down the group, the dioxides and trioxides. Moving down the group, some of the points what you have to be learned in the mind, and that is moving down the group, always metallic nature increases in all periodic table. Moving down the group, metallic nature increases. Metallic nature always decrease the covalent nature. Always. Metallic nature always decrease the covalent nature because atoms having a lower tendency to polarize the electron in the covalent bond. Always smaller cations having greater tendency to polarize the bond. Smaller cations having greater tendency to polarize the bond. So when we discuss about the oxide of SO2 and SO3, they must be a more covalent than the other members of the same group, because down the group the cations increases, the size of cation increases, the metallic nature increases. That will decrease the covalent bond nature and also decrease the acidic nature. And this is the reason why SO2 and SO3 we have as a stronger acid, and the rest of the member actually weak acid or amphoteric. Amphoteric. The selenium oxide, selenium oxide and selenium trioxide, they are a weak acid. They are a weak acid. Tellurium oxides are actually amphoteric in nature. Sometimes we have like acidic, weak acidic. And polonium oxides are actually somewhat basic. So moving down the group, the acidic property depends upon always the covalent nature. Now look at the condition. SO2 and SO3, which one is a more acidic? If we comparing the dioxide with trioxide, which one is more acidic? This is depend upon the oxidation number as well. This is depend upon the oxidation number. In dioxide, oxidation number is +4. In trioxide, oxidation number is +6. So greater oxidation number, more polarizing power, more covalent nature, and more acidic nature. This is all about all concept depend upon this oxidation number value. Greater oxidation number is smaller size of the element in the center, more polarization of the atom with the bond, more covalent nature in the bond, more acidic nature of the molecule. This is the concept. If you wish, then can write. So SO3 must be a more acidic. Trioxides are always a more acidic than a dioxide. In a general term, higher oxides are always a more acidic than a lower oxides. Always, because of the same reason. This is all about the concept given in the book. What you have to learn. Then the topic is here reactivity towards halogens. Reactivity towards halogens. I think we have a time, I think, so we can conclude this topic also. Reactivity towards halogens. Oxygen very rarely form compound with halogens, especially fluorine. Because of the very high electronegativity, there is always a greater repulsion between oxygen element and other halogen element. And that is the reason why oxygen has very few compounds with the halogens like O2F2, like OF2 with fluorine, and very rare with the chlorine. So there should be a halides with the other members like SF4, SF6. All the halides of the oxygen family is having a next section, is given in the next section when we starting the 17th group. There is one table given with the halogens with the oxygen family. But you should be learn some of the points from here. Anyone can guess what is the stability of the halides when reacting with the oxygen family? Stability of halides, the trend of the stability of halides, anyone? Halides are
in stability increases, sir.